you can save around 30% in your daily water usage in the residential house or in the flats in the building segment. But before that, we have to monitor the water usage first daily, what is your water consumption, and then we can plan for how to achieve this water savings of 30% in the residential building segment. Let us see how this can be achieved in depth. The CPWD guidelines on average water usage per person in India is 135 liters per capita per day LPCD. Our daily usage is practically around 135 to 170 liters. We can reduce around 30% in our water usage, daily water consumption in the bathrooms, in the toilet flushing, kitchen sink, wash basin, and in fully loading your washing machines. See, the image courtesy is from Rainwater Harvesting India site, but you can see the types of domestic water consumption and the average amount of water that is used per application, either in the shower or in the kitchen. Shower it's around 45 liters, in the kitchen sink it's around 35 liters, in the toilet flushing is around 33 liters, and in the laundry it's around 30 liters. These are all the major proportion where this can be, we can go for reducing the consumption here as such. The Central Groundwater Authority of India gives an estimation of water requirement for drinking and domestic use. The source is from National Building Code 2016 and Bureau of Indian Standards. It is only a indication what is the consumption like. The value of water supply is around 150 to 200 liters per day, may be reduced to 135 liters for the medium income groups and low income groups and economically weaker section of the society, depending on the prevailing conditions and the availability of water. So, we can reduce around 30% on the existing domestic consumption. Let us save water individually and collectively. Let us say from 135 liters to 95 liters per day, means almost 40 liters per head saving is possible. Let us see how this can be achieved. So, first let us, as I said before, the Bureau of Energy Efficiency always suggests to monitor the energy consumption. Here it is water, so monitor the daily water consumption in liters in your house, in apartments. You can install a run-hour meter for each pump that feeds from sump to the overhead tank. Record the reading in this run-hour meter to know the daily running hours of the pump. Measure the volume of water by filling a bucket or a barrel by inserting in the overhead tank for how many seconds the bucket gets filled in, and the sump pump takes the water to deliver to that bucket first as a sample case. Based on the run hours and the barrel filling time, you can now quantify your daily water input to the overhead tank in liters per day. Repeat the exercise quarterly every year. Let us say 50 liter barrel or the bucket takes around 40 seconds to fill at the overhead tank feed water line. Your sump pump, it is an example I am suggesting here. Your sump pump runs for 2 hours a day as per the run hour meter displayed. So, 50 liters in 40 seconds means almost 1.25 liters is delivered per second. So, for 2 hours it is almost 9000 liters per day is delivered to your overhead tank for your flat consumption, total flat consumption. So, they display the same in your building notice board so that it is visible to all the residents of the building, the flats, the multi-story flats, and this will make them realize, are we consuming 9000 liters per day? This will make them realize and will prompt them how to reduce their water consumption individually and collectively. So, for this, installing this run-hour meter and a 3-phase kWh meter, like we call it as a sub meter, and a button meter, this combo is around 2500 rupees priced, budgeted. The run-hour meter costs around 500 and the button meter costs around 400, and a single phase meter means around 800 and a 3-phase meter means around 1500. It is called sub meters. This will give you the total kWh units per day consumed. Divided by the number of hours, say from the run-hour meter, gives you the average units, kWh units supplied to the pump for your daily consumption in liters. So, you can refer the pump nameplate, water delivery, and if it is less, very much less, the pump needs to be serviced. That also you can get to know by seeing the figures, what is the liters per hour average per day, and you can see the pump nameplate. Daily water usage monitoring by meters will prompt you to reduce. This is more important. The run hour meter readings indicate you the daily water total usage for this many persons in your building. Why the submeter is added here is to know the pump efficiency and the derating of your pump also. Let us say a 3 HP pump, 2.2 kilowatt 3-phase pump runs for 4 hours daily and it consumes around 8 units per day. So, the loading is okay, it consumes around 80% to full load. The average loading is as per the nameplate and it is healthy only. When the pump runs only for 40% loading, then it means the pump inlet filter is choked or it is taking more run hours to fill the tank. That needs to be serviced, the inlet filter needs to be serviced. The pump, let us say after the 6 days a week, the pump runs for 6 hours a day instead of 2 hours a day, then either the residents are more or the water leakage is somewhere happening, that needs to be checked, or the pump gets derated. So, in houses, this run hour meter and the submeter counters gives an excellent indication of condition monitoring of what is your daily consumption, whereas in flats this gives an indication for the whole block of flat only or a whole building only. So, better to retrofit flow meter for the individual flat as such. Coming to the 170 liters per day per person, 35 liters is used in the kitchen sink. Let us go by the major proportion how much it is used and how this can be reduced by 50%. The water consumption in the kitchen sink can be reduced by 50% here by installing this swivel type water saving aerator, and this costs only around 100 rupees through the e-commerce platforms. And daily around 30 minutes the tap is kept open. That is what we have observed in the building for almost a year or two. And the servant maids, you have to advise the servant maid only to open when it is needed only, and this 30 minutes can be reduced. And this aerator makes the cleaning of vessels very fast and efficient also. Coming to the dishwashing liquid, dilute it with water for daily usage and store in a dispenser. When you are using a concentrated dishwashing liquid, automatically the water consumption is more only. So, this consumes diluted dishwashing liquid consumes less of water only. Also, when you are using a vessel scrubber as a square size, you can cut to half size and handy to clean the small vessels and items. Small scrubber consumes less soap to clean and less water only consumed. All these inputs, my wife is doing it. I am just trying to share what she is doing to save the water in our house as such. Coming to the table, reference table, around 170 liters per day, that is the reference, and bathing consumes, the bathroom consumes around 45 liters per day. This can be trimmed by 50% by practices only. Instead of going for a direct water shower, you can retrofit this aerator to reduce the water. When the water crisis is there, you have to reduce your showering time only. Instead of that, going for a water shower, you can go for a bucket type and it is always measurable, and go for a small bucket. Instead of going for a big bucket, go for a small bucket of less than 20 liter size and a small bag to take bath, and no big size. When you are using a small mug also, always try to take bath with half the mug so that the water does not get wasted. Fill the water taps in bathrooms, in wash basins with this flow reducer retrofits. This, once it is getting retrofitted, this allows only 50% water through the taps, and routinely remove the retrofits once in 3 months or once in 6 months, depending on the calcification that is happening in your the hardness of your water, and soak it with Harpic liquid for say for an hour, and we can reuse it again. Keep an active spare of these retrofits, routinely replace and cleaned spare as it. Even the kitchen aerator, this can be routinely soaked in Harpic liquid, and the life can be prolonged for 2 years, let us say. The prices have become affordable, and once in 2 years the aerator retrofits needs to be replaced depending on the heavy or the light usage of the water taps. We need to decalcify the water taps once in few months of usage and replace as and when it is required. Coming to the toilet flushing, see, out of the 170 liters per day, we are taking the major portion where the water is heavily used and how this can be reduced by 50%. Simply put a label, say it is a 3 liter or a 6 liter in a dual flush type toilet. Normally the toilets are dual flush type, and if this can be labeled as 3 liter or 6 liter, This will prompt the user to use only 3-liter button 6 times a day for urinals instead of a 6-liter button. This saves straight away 18 liters per day, 50% water saving is achieved just by labeling of your flush button in your flush tank. Put a 1 liter full PET water bottle and inside the flush tank. This again reduces by 1 liter per flush. So decades back we used to splash only half a mug of water for urinals, and now 2 liter is enough to flush the urinals. The water ministry or the Jal Shakti ministry suggested to use aerators in 2019 itself. Water saving in tap is from 10 liters per minute to 3 liters per minute. It is time the residential buildings retrofitted this device to save around 70% at the point of usage. You can see your inefficient tap takes around 10 liters per minute, whereas the energy efficient, water efficient, this aerator type tap, it consumes only 3 liters per minute. The water tap leakage replaces only the internal parts of the tap, and you can see the leakage. 1 drop per second means almost it consumes around 130 liters per month. It is wasted, whereas 2 drops per second means almost 380 liters of water is getting wasted. So water leakage will silently drain your pockets, so never allow the water leakage to happen in your house as such. Water tap aerator replacement is available for just 15 rupees a piece. It can be, you can go for a branded replacement, and all the taps aerators have a life depending on the usage, and you have to replace it routinely. Go for rigid PVC branded water taps that comes with a warranty also, and it is becoming affordable and very long working also. The city may be flooded with rains, but each house or apartment needs to have a bore water, or it depends on the corporation water, to raise the overhead tank level, and excess water consumption in flats definitely goes for overloading of the STP, sewage treatment plant running cost. So please don't leave your water tap open when it is not needed or when it goes unattended. Even for brushing or shaving in your house, use a small cup instead of running the tap fully. Always monitor your water at the point of use and target to reduce further. Overhead tank level automatic is made automatic, and to maintain at 30 to 70% instead of 10 to 90%. Many flats or apartments or houses, you can see the water is overflowing every day. This overflow is a crime, and it is not supposed to happen at the time of water crisis in any of the cities and towns now. The run-over meter shows the tank fill-up time from to low to high level in the automatic mode. The case studies show when the individual flat is metered, the water usage drops by almost, it is reduced by 40%. You can reduce around 40% once the individual flat is metered. So everybody is made responsible. Till that time, you can go for this run-over meter for the block, the total flat, and you can monitor this. The water is scarcely available, and seeing them visualize the water availability situation, kindly reduce your water consumption by at least 30%, save 40 liters per person per day from today onwards. Thank you, thank you, thank you.